You worthless gnats! We may die, but others follow our example. Mark my words. You've bested their leadership. Most impressive. Remind me never to underestimate the skills of a Fatebinder. I'm honoured to have had the hand in glory. It is the disfavoured who should be honoured. You've been with us from the start to finish this long conquest, from the gates of judgment to this, our very moment of victory. Thank you, Mordred the Powerful, for all that you have given the Legion. The clatter and madness of combat has finally ceased. Ascension Hall is, for the moment, tranquil. May pox take your children! Ari slumps to a crouch, her body trembling from the injury and fatigue. With those words of defeat and the burning hum you've heard in your head for days on end tapers off into nothing. Your mind returns to a state of quiet you've not felt since you proclaimed the edict upon Vendrian's Well. I lay claim to Ascension Hall. Let us be free of this edict. You feel a tug in your chest as warm energy begins to form around you. Before you know it, you feel like you are lighter in the air. Or than air. Oops. I love the little animations. Like when I'm hovering in the air, I'm like... You blink away the last of the luminescent trails in your field of vision, and masonry of Ascension Hall is replaced with a wide open space in every direction, save for the slab of ancient stone beneath your feet. High winds shove you, pushing you off balance. The air is cool and thin, unsatisfying to your lungs. Is this? Lantry looks over the horizon, wide-eyed with excitement. Yes, this must be the mountain spire. When was the last time? Lantry's eyes look down over the edge. Dumbstruck by the vertical plunge, Lantry backs away from the edge. I may need to retch. This is certainly a change. The wind ruffles the feathers in her hair, and bursts quickly smooths them down. A damn cold change. She peers over the edge. Think I could land on my feet if I jumped? Not that it would matter for long. Kyros, be mercenary. Mercenary? For Pete's sake. Kyros, be merciful. What now? Barak spins around on his feet, looking around, trying to take in as much as he can through the narrow visor on his helmet. Everywhere you look, mountains rise up along the distant horizon. The rivers and forest below bring to mind maps of Vendrian's Well, and you quickly trace the Mittani, the Invev, and all the numerous waterways of the region. Higher than you imagined it, this is indeed the pinnacle of the spire of Vendrian's Well. How did we... all the way up here? Aris strains to stand up, clutching her side. Another question. How in the name of Graven Ash do we get down? The Iron Marshal walks to the edge, trembling, a half-pace back as she peers downwards. The warriors below must be sensing that the edict has ended. We should go down there, by their side. The edict is gone, and I don't think we're dead. We should all feel the edict's passing. No doubt the soldiers below are sensing it too, and the Archons as well. Send word to Graven Ash that we are successful. That was a worthy battle. Not since the stalwarts have I seen such courage, such determination. Oh, but the siege needed Hispan ago. Agreed. I would be honoured to deliver your auspicious message in person, but... She points down over the ledge. I think the blast of magic from the spire and the edict's end should have been clear to everyone, but Graven Edge will want to know you are safe. Go through that portal and report to Graven Edge. Then return to me with any news. Point Harry, give her a note. The parchment will survive the impact. I'm not that harsh, but that is a funny response. Oh dear, how far have I fallen? No telling how stable it is, but look closely, and you'll see images of Ascension Hall in the haze. Well, if you have trained eyes, that is. Of course, even if it's not stable, the alternative is jumping, so... what do we have to lose? Oh, how did I not notice that? The portal's shimmering contours glimmer the moment you call out its presence. Assuming this takes me back to Ascension Hall, I'll carve a path to Ash and I'll let you know the score. With a resounding clatter, Erinios beats her breastplate. It is her! Beats her breastplate and salute. Glory to Kyros! Send the Archon of War my regards. Salute the Iron Marshal. Glory to Kyros. Glory to Kyros. Thank you for being the edge of our blade. We've been short-handed even since we took this gate to judgment, and these Oathbreakers fight well above their station. Without you and my vanguard, this would have been a bloodier day. There is no telling if we would have seized Ascension Hall in time. Vendrian well is yours. Hold it for the glory of Tunon. It would be wise for us to place court. Court-held lands between us and the enemy. That way the chorus cannot fortify around us without giving offence to the Archon of Justice. Narat's treachery means war. I trust we will be able to rely on your continued support in the coming trials. No doubt, I am the very definition of an enemy of the Overlord. I didn't just resist, I led others into resistance, so I know what's about to happen. But I know when I've met my match, and like most folk, I'll do whatever it takes to live. If you will show me mercy, I will pledge my life to you, good Fatebinder. The Tidecaster bows to one knee, lowering her gaze. I know I'm an Oathbreaker, so my word isn't what it used to be, but I promise, if you spare me, I will serve you well. I'm always in favour of new companions. Serve me well, nor can be forgiven, why would I possibly trust you? My mercy has a price, I feel like is the one that I should say. What will stay your hand, if not my service? Is it wealth you desire? I have plenty stashed throughout the tiers, I can lead you to it. Swear fealty to me. I, heir of the Tidecasters, do hereby pledge my life and loyalty to Mordred the Powerful. She dips in a short bow before meeting her eyes with a trembling smile. I will serve and obey until such time as I am freed from my obligations. I'm gonna have 3 wizards in my party if I take her. Oh my gosh. Just because I'm curious at what she's like, I'm going to switch you with the Lantry.
I will return to our holdfast at once.
Sorry, Lantry. I don't want 3 mages in the same party. That would just be ridiculous. Vendrian's well has fallen. For the second time since the conquest began, Kyros' armies take the citadel from its defenders. With your help, the Vendrian Guard rebellion has been crushed. You claim Ascension Hall with your disfavoured allies, satisfying the terms of Kyros' baleful edict. You and the forces of Kyros are free from the Overlord's death sentence. With the threat of execution no longer looming overhead, the Overlord's armies turned their attention away from the citadel and towards each other. The tensions that flared over the long siege reached an explosive crescendo as the disfavoured and Scarlet Chorus armies clashed, iron and bronze, in a hasty, disorganised battle. As his forces were cut down, the voices of Narat and his officers escaped to the Stone Sea, leaving the conscript army to carry on their battle against the disfavoured. In the aftermath, the disfavoured broke camp and withdrew to their fortress in the Bladegrave, there to regroup and prepare for the extended campaign against the Scarlet Chorus. Having taken Vendrian's well for yourself, Archon and Ash recognised your lawful claim to rule and occupy the spire. As the days passed, the wounded and injured were nursed to health. You explored your strange bastion and planned your next steps with careful deliberation. As word spreads that the Scarlet Chorus and Disfavoured turned on each other, factions once resolved to bend the knee are inspired instead to continue fighting. The Archon's feud has heralded the collapse of Kyros' offensive. Tunon, the Archon of Justice, observes the chaos and discord spreading through the land. The Archon summons his Fatebinder to return to the court of the Bastard City and report on his actions at Vendrian's Well. Civil War. What a shame it's descended into this. Archon Ash will want to meet and discuss the next steps. Best that you group in Iron Hearth. Gather your strength and regroup, but don't leave the Archon waiting. Send Ash my regards. The General has done much for me, and I wish he was here to see this. I'll join the Archon at Iron Hearth after I speak with Tunon. That would be best. She shakes her head and looks out over the spire with fresh bewilderment. It's not enough that we're fighting 2 wars. Now we have this puzzle to solve. I don't envy your position. See you at Iron Hearth. Obviously this isn't Hearts of Iron 4, this is Tyranny. Hearts of Iron will be back tomorrow though, don't worry. I just like doing something a little different from time to time, and I needed to get some of this stuff recorded for while I'm away. And I need the extra day for the rendering and uploading. Hearts of Iron's already far enough ahead. The dizzying energy from the spire falters. Whatever force awoke the powers that reside here gutters and fades, though a faint hum persists in the sculpture at the centre. That's odd. There was a portal here a moment ago, but it seems to have vanished. I don't know what happened. This is all new to me. The humming from the curious sculpture pulses and builds in volume as if to draw your attention. Let's turn off fast move. Vendrian Guard Wrath ability, drain strength. Right, there's going to be a couple of those. Also, Ebb here has leveled up. What's she good at? Support skills? No. Magic skills. Control Gravelight, Lightning and Tide casting. So she's more of an offensive caster, which is what I do. Tidal and Gravelight. Gravelight is Arcane Missile, sends a charged bolt of arcane energy at a foe that bounces to hit nearby enemies. Create a powerful jet of water that strikes a nearby target and knocks them back. Oh, here we go. Summon a globe of water to surround the target's head, leaving them to slowly drown. Mother's embrace. Oh dear. Fluid body. Afflictions applied to Ebb for their durations reduced. That's pretty good. Gain a bonus to all frost damage dealt. Grant bonus armor while Ebb is wearing light armor in combat. Lift a target into the air and violently throw them back to the ground, dealing crushing damage. Yeah, she's a damage dealing caster. I think Landry is a better fit, honestly. Although I'm kind of curious to see what spells you have. Phantom Bolt. Ah. The Mountain Spire, Vendrian's Well. Mysterious device. The ancient device, perched atop the mountain spire in Vendrian's Well, is the product of a forgotten age. It's unclear what function it once had or if it can be used again. Resting in any spire grants a bonus to all skills. Oh, you can get multiple spires. Interesting. Select a region to view the information about its current edict. No edict. Edict of Stone. Edict of Storms. Edict of Fire. In the last year of Kyros' conquest, when the Archon Cairn rebelled against the Overlord's rule, an edict was proclaimed upon the realm of Azure. To preserve our peace, the promise of safety to our citizens, all Archons must submit to our will. Any Archon who refuses proper submission must be brought to justice. Therefore, let the foundations of Azure be shattered and life drained from the land while the traitor Cairn draws breath. In the year 430 TR, Kyros the Overlord proclaimed an edict over the Vellum Citadel. In the contested lands, it is our most solemn duty to protect the citizens of our empire from all dangers, including the danger of knowledge that is forbidden. Let those who, in their burning arrogance, hold tightly to this law be consumed by our wrath. Therefore, let the fires of Terratus rise up and consume them for as long as forbidden knowledge lies within the heart of the Vellum Citadel. In the year 430, the Overlord proclaimed an edict over the realm of Stalwart. Those who, in pride and arrogance, stand against the peace and order of our empire, shall be ground beneath the stones of their land. Let those who call themselves unbroken, who embrace the chaos of war in defiance of our order, be broken in the storms of our rage. Let our storm rage until the last blade be broken, or the line of the regent falls. And there are a bunch of upgrades we can do which cost rings. A merchant with a motley connection of items for sale, Revos will also create camping supplies periodically. A skill trainer who teaches unarmed attacks, parry, dodge and subterfuge. A skill trainer who teaches one-handed weapons, parry and athletics. A skill trainer who teaches one-handed weapons, two-handed weapons, dodge and athletics. A battlefield scavenger with many unique items for sale. A skill trainer who teaches one-handed weapons, two-handed weapons, dual wield, parry and dodge. a smith who regularly produces weapons, an old beast woman who regularly provides food to take into battle, and a fate binder whose ability to change what skills you are proficient with. What does TR stand for? I'm not actually sure what that stands for. Well, a lot of RPGs have those, like, interim story moments. This is probably one of the less graphic novel-y types. And if you really want to see a graphic novel and a game built together, check out Max Payne and Max Payne 2. I didn't think 3 was as good, but 1 and 2 are excellent. And that really is like a graphic novel and a game mixed together. Because, like, the story, you play through elements of the story, but then the intermissions, I guess you'd call them, were graphic novels, basically. But lots of RPGs have that, like, narrative moment when it's moving from one scene to the next. Alright, so, I think we need to go and check out this thing, whatever this thing is. On closer inspection, a series of symbols carved around the base of the structure came into view. One symbol pulses with a blue-white glow. The pattern resembles the glowing lines of light seen on the floor of Ascension Hall, moments before you found yourself transported above the clouds. As you stare at the symbol, the chill of the wind abates and your chest swells with a warmth. The air finally feels welcoming, your lungs sated at last. You state your claim on the tower and everything in it. Whatever that sculpture is, it belongs to you. I can feel power running through this place. Ebb surveys the surroundings, her gaze sweeping to the object of the centre. You can sense the magic of the spire even from down below. But up here, this close to the axis of the spire, the deluge of energy is numbing. I feel dizzy. Do you feel dizzy? Barak massages his brow with his helmet, causing a howl of grinding iron to echo across the expanse. What is this thing? The surface of the stone edifice trembles at your words. For a brief moment, the solid rock undulates, and the same motion as a quiet pond rippled by rain. An echo bounces back from afar, your voice distorted and unfamiliar. Is this thing? Your voice. For a moment there, it sounded like a song. The sculpture is once again still. There is a rush of warmth through your body. A jolt of innervation that steadies your balance. A barrage of tactile sensation floods your mind as you feel footsteps and wind, but not on your face or your limbs. A moment later, the flood of information begins to make sense. You are feeling the wind against the spire, even the weight of your own feet, as if the spire were a second spine. With this connection made, you feel your awareness pull from this place, not as a traveller, but as one glimpsing the world from impossibly far away. In this moment, there is nothing you cannot see, though you see nearly all at once in a flood of sensation that is difficult to pass. You see a spire at the crossing of an ancient stone structure, two walls extending off into the distance. At the base of this eternal spire, settlers and merchants act in every way unconcerned, toiling under the observation of unforgiving taskmasters. As the shadow of the spire falls over them, the mood changes. The settlers pause in shared unease and look at the sky, towards you. Some of the faces looking at you are familiar. You recognise this place as Lethian's Crossing, where you served during the war. Near the settlement, built on the joining of ancient walls, you see a breach in the massive masonry, a cleft in the forbidden, hidden realm within the old walls. The spire feels similar to the one you now occupy, though instead of radiating arcane life, it reeks of dust and crumbling stone. A branch withering, once pulled from its tree. It reaches out for you with a barely perceptible tug. Drift into the old wall's entrance. Shadows envelop you, mutating all sound and vision with a slight delay. There is a feeling of perversion, of wrongness. Whatever arcane power is allowing your senses to drift free of your body seems to falter in this place. Figures haunt the stone halls, drifting emanations of cloud, claw, and fang. They pay you no heed, but you fear them all the same. In the depths of this forbidden place, the deepest chamber is bathed in light. An arcane symbol illuminates the floor, though the details hurt your eyes when you focus. With a gentle tug, your focus pulls back into a new horizon, though it takes you a moment to recognize it as Vendrian's well. You return to the awareness of your immediate surroundings. The effect leaves you unsteady on your feet. The link between you and the spire recedes. The arcane bond is still present, but the mystical energies for the moment are quiet. Your body flooded with excitement and fatigue. It's unclear whether the mystic connection is strengthening you or siphoning. The tower offers nothing by way of answer, and you know that asking would yield only more silence and mystery. The deluge of sensation is over, but the positions of the other spires still linger in your mind. From your vantage point atop the mountain spire, you can easily spot the mysterious structures, each of them rising high above their distant surroundings. Strange. Ebb curls her fingers and draws a quick sigil in the air, and then studies how it fades. The magic of this place responds to you. The portal, the braziers, it all glows more vibrant when you approach. Before we get ahead of ourselves, it's worth remembering that you ended Kyros' edict. It's no small feat. Maybe your connection to this place is related? Either way, sounds like something for the arcane-minded to investigate. Be sure to see me after your audience with Tunon. We cannot let the Scarlet Chorus gain control of the Tears. Together, we will wipe them from the land. Come to me as soon as you can, Fatebinder. We have a lot of work to do. And there we are. We basically have a stronghold now. Oh, I see, you can have up to 6 of these recruits. Huh. Maintenance cost none. It's just the mysterious device. So there are various upgrades for the tower. Oh, and you have resources. Huh. So keeping the iron ingots would have been a good thing because there are resources which you can gather. Interesting. I wonder what the resources are for. Like, can you craft weapons and stuff, I assume? I don't know, but this is kind of interesting. So, of course, this is probably the best place to end this stream. It's bang on 3 o'clock as well. Boom. So, I'm going to say thank you everyone for watching. I'll respond to the chat in just a moment. I just want to do this sign off. So, thank you everyone for watching. I do hope that you're enjoying this so far. If you are, then do hit that follow button so you get notifications when I'm live in the future. This is going to be the last of Tyranny for probably the next 3 weeks or so, because I will be away. I will be streaming again tomorrow. We're back to the grand strategy stuff, so I'll be continuing the Kaiserreich Ireland game tomorrow. If you missed some of this Tyranny stream, you can catch it on YouTube. So if you go to youtube.com/Mordred Viking, then check that out. You can find that there. If you want to support the channel in other ways, I don't actually get paid for any of the work that I do on Twitch at the moment, so I rely entirely on your generosity because I'm not a Twitch partner. And if you would like to support me, then there is a donation thing below, or better yet, I also have a Patreon, which you can find here. Patreon's awesome. It gives you a number of really good rewards, and I also get a bigger percentage of it because the companies involved take less of it. Finally, I have got Discord, which is where the Mordred Viking community hanged out. They're a cool bunch. If you're looking for multiplayer games or just tips and advice and things, then it's an excellent resource for that, and I highly recommend you go and check that out as well. So, for me from Tyranny, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching, and we'll continue this next time. Goodbye.